A new scientific study is questioning the claim that the Shroud of Turin is really the burial cloth of Jesus Christ. Published in this month's Journal of Forensic Sciences, the study concludes that the bloodstains are supposedly not consistent with those left by a crucifixion, meaning it's a fake. But long-standing shroud experts have slammed the results. They question the methodology since the authors didn't have access to the actual shroud. Vatican correspondent Juliet Linley joins us from Rome. Juliet, who is behind this new study and how did they carry out their research?
Wyatt, the newest study was conducted by Matteo Borrini, a forensic anthropologist, and Luigi Garlaschelli, a chemist. They based their experiments on bloodstain pattern analysis. They used mannequins and volunteers, and they tried to recreate the circumstances of Christ's death with fake blood and sponges, since they didn't have direct access to the shroud itself. Now, they concluded that according to their simulations, the bloodstains were simply not realistic.
Well, it's not the first time the authenticity of the shroud has been disputed. How is the study, this new study, being received by longtime shroud experts?
Well, Emanuela Marinelli, who's been studying the shroud for more than 40 years, she told Vatican News website that such studies are often funded by ideological groups with clear agendas who want people to believe that the shroud is false historical artifacts. So she said there's a sense of annoyance by those who want to deny Christ and his resurrection and the church. But the church isn't afraid to have legitimate scientific analysis. And Pope John Paul II in '98 said the specific competence to pronounce on these scientific questions regarding the shroud's authenticity was entrusted to scientists, and their task was to continue their investigations. Wyatt.
Well, that normally then leads to raising the question many Catholics ask, what is the Vatican's official position? Do they think it's real or not?
Good question, Wyatt. The Church has never formally pronounced itself on whether this 14-foot by 4-foot linen cloth really is the cloth in which Jesus was wrapped after his crucifixion. But Pope Pius XII approved of the image in association with the devotion to the holy face of Jesus. And all of the recent popes, Wyatt, have visited the shroud. In '73, Pope Paul VI famously said that his heart told him it was genuine because when he looked at it, he saw the portrayal of the face of our Lord. And during a visit to Turin in 2010, Pope Benedict said it was a sign of hope because in it he saw the mirror of our suffering and the suffering of Christ. And Pope Francis was the last pope to visit there in 2015, Wyatt.
Well, it's so interesting to hear about the history of the shroud and how many popes have visited and what they've thought about it. Juliet Linley, EWTN News Nightly Vatican correspondent. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Wyatt.